I'm 65 and my legs used to shake just climbing stairs. I tried walking more, I tried squats, nothing made a lasting difference. Then I found one exercise that specifically strengthens the weakest point in your knee, the angle where everything breaks down as we age. 8 weeks after I started doing it, I walked up those stairs without touching the railing for the first time in years. I'm Barbara Lawson. I'm 65 years old, and I want to talk about something I carried quietly for a long time, the fear of my own legs. Not a dramatic fear, just that low-level anxiety that comes when you realize you can't fully trust your body anymore. Stairs made me nervous. Getting up from low chairs took effort. I would sit in certain spots at restaurants specifically because they had armrests. I told myself it was just part of getting older. I tried walking more. My doctor said to walk more. I tried doing squats at home. I even tried a beginner yoga class. And while all of those things were fine, none of them addressed the specific weakness that was causing the problem. What I finally learned is that leg weakness after 60 isn't a general problem. It has a very specific location. The weakest angle of your knee, the position of deepest flexion where the muscles and connective tissue have the least strength. And almost every standard exercise completely skips that angle. The isometric squat is the one exercise that goes directly there. And what it did for my legs in 8 weeks genuinely changed my daily life. Before I walk you through it, I want to ask you something. Has leg weakness changed the way you move through the world? Have you started avoiding things, certain walks, certain stairs, certain seats, because you weren't sure your legs would hold? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one this week. And if this is already resonating with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. I make these videos specifically for women our age, and I don't want you to miss what's coming. Let me first explain why this exercise works when so many others don't. The problem with most leg exercises is that they work the muscle through the range of motion where it's already strongest, the middle range, where the knee is only partially bent. A standard squat, a leg press, even walking upstairs, all of these load the leg primarily through the comfortable range. The weakest point, when your knee is at its deepest bend, gets either skipped entirely or rushed through so quickly that no real strengthening happens there. Over time, that weak angle gets weaker, and it's precisely at that angle that falls happen, that knees give out, that getting up from a low chair becomes impossible. The isometric squat targets that exact position with something called maximal voluntary isometric contraction. You hold the muscle under maximum effort at the weakest angle for several seconds, forcing it to strengthen specifically where it needs it most. Here is how to do it. You need a chair or step that sits lower than a standard chair, about 30 centimeters high if possible. The goal over time is to work toward a full, flat-footed squat position, but we start where you are. Sit on the low chair or step and slide your heels as far back toward it as possible until your knees start to feel tight. That tight feeling is important. It means you found the weakest angle of your knee. That's where we're going to work. From this position, place your hands on the chair or step beside you for support. Lean your chest slightly forward, keeping a natural curve in your lower back. Now press down through your feet as hard as you possibly can, as if you're trying to stand up. while simultaneously resisting with your hands so that you don't actually rise. You're creating maximum muscular effort without actually moving. Hold that contraction for 5 seconds. Count slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then sit back down and rest for a moment. Repeat 5 times. The first time I did this, my legs were shaking by the 3rd repetition. Not because I was doing too much, because those muscles had been completely neglected for years and were encountering genuine resistance for the first time. That shaking is normal. It's the signal that you found the right place. After 5 rounds, you'll often notice that you've gained a tiny bit of range. Either your heels can move a little further back, or you can sit slightly more forward on the chair. That small gain is the exercise working. Move into the new position and repeat the 5 rounds again. You're progressively strengthening the knee through a slightly deeper range each time. What makes this exercise so powerful for women our age is not just the muscular strengthening, it's the joint mobility that comes with it. As the muscles strengthen at the deepest angle, the knee joint itself begins to move more freely. The stiffness that builds up from years of staying within a comfortable range starts to release. Over 8 weeks of doing this consistently, I did it 3 times a week, I went from gripping the railing on every set of stairs to climbing them without holding anything. From needing armrests to get up to standing up from low seats with ease. The change was gradual, then suddenly very obvious. A few important notes. You may feel some discomfort in the knees when you first start, especially if you have any history of knee replacement or arthritis. This is normal and usually decreases as the muscles strengthen. If the pain feels sharp or severe, stop and rest. Start with fewer repetitions if 5 feels like too many, and build up gradually. The goal is to work at the edge of your current ability, not to push through genuine pain. As you progress over the weeks, you can make the exercise more challenging in 2 ways. First, you can lower the height of the step progressively. Start on a 30-centimeter step and work toward a lower surface over time. Second, you can eventually try to lift yourself off the step without using your hands, using only your legs. That milestone, rising from a very low position under your own leg power, was the moment I cried a little, because it meant I had given myself something back that I thought was gone. I want you to know something before you start. You might be surprised by how weak this area feels the first time. I was. There's a specific kind of humbling in discovering that muscles you use every day have this quiet, profound weakness hiding in them. But that weakness is not a sentence. It is an invitation. Your body is capable of responding to this exercise at any age. I know because mine did. Start today, be consistent, and come back and tell me in the comments when you notice the stairs getting easier, because they will. If this video helped you understand what your legs have been missing, make sure to subscribe for more strategies that actually work for women our age. I'm Barbara Lawson. Thanks for watching.